This is a Johnny Cash song called A Boy Named Sue. Well, my dad left home when I was 3, and he didn't leave much more than me, just his old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. Now I don't blame him 'cause he run and hid, but the meanest thing that he ever did was before he left, he went and named me Sue. Well, he must have thought it was quite a joke, and it got a lot of laughs from a lot of folk. Seemed I had to fight my whole life through. Some guy would giggle and I'd get red. Some guy would laugh and I'd bust his head. I tell you, life ain't easy for a boy named Sue. Well, I grew up quick and I grew up mean. My fist got hard and my wit got keen. And I'd roam from town to town to hide my shame. But I made me a vow to the moon and the stars, I'd search the honky-tonks and bars, kill that man that gave me that awful name. Well, I was in Gatlinburg in mid-July, and I just hit town, my throat was dry. Thought I'd stop and have myself a brew. At no saloon on the street of mud, there at the table, dealing studs at the dirty mangy dog that named me Sue. Well, I knew the snake was my own sweet dad from a worn-out picture that my mother had, and I knew the scar on his cheek and his evil eye. It was big and bent and gray and old, and I looked at him and my blood ran cold, and I said, "My name is Sue. How do you do? Now you're gonna die." Well, I hit him hard right between the eyes, and he went down, but to my surprise, he came up with a knife and cut off a piece of my ear. But I busted a chair right across his teeth, and we crashed through the wall and into the street, kicking and a gouging in the mud and the blood and the beer. Well, I tell you, I fought tougher men, but I really can't remember when. You kicked like a mule and bit like a crocodile. I heard him laugh and then I heard him cuss. He went for his gun, but I pulled mine first. He stood there looking at me and I saw him smile. He said, "Son, the world is rough, and if a man's gonna make it, he's got to be tough." And I knew I wouldn't be there to help you along. So I gave you that name and I said goodbye, and I knew you'd have to get tough or die, and it's that name that helps to make you strong. He said, "Now you just fought one heck of a fight, and I know you hate me and you got the right to kill me now, and I wouldn't blame you if you do. But you ought to thank me before you die for the gravel in your gut and the spit in your eye, 'cause I'm the mangy dog that named you Sue." What could I do? What could I do? Well, I got choked up and I threw down my gun, called him Pa and he called me son. I came away with a different point of view. I think about him every now and then, every time I try and every time I win. If I ever have a son, I think I'm gonna name him Bill, George, anything but Sue. I still hate that name. Thank you.